It's
time
for another episode
of
Always and
Angelic
Just Be Alice.
Alice. We're different,
not
less.
less.
You're
We're
different,
not less.
And now for the disclaimer for every episode of Always Angelic Aspie Alice.
Yes, at Always Angelic Aspie Alice, we value the lived experiences of those that identify as neurodiverse, autistic, chronically pained, have mental health conditions, that identify with different pronouns, culture, backgrounds, sexuality, and so on.
We appreciate and acknowledge lived experiences as vital to the wonderland of Always Angelic Aspie Alice.
However, our experiences may be different from those who have different experiences, and our advice, /experience, /stories, /personal mantras, etc. do not replace medical or diagnostic information.
We are not therapists, counsellors, or doctors. However, we hope you find another episode of Always Angelic Aspie Alice helpful.
We welcome everybody to be, live, thrive, and belong as different, not less. Hi, George.
Hello.
Hi, and thank you for coming onto my podcast. This is about being, belonging, and becoming, and I would love for you to tell about your experiences about your new social group and, anything like that.
Well, yes, I have been to a movie-themed social group lately, and it's been absolutely great. First of all, I go to a shopping centre by Uber or tram, and then after about 7 o'clock, we all walk down to the bar, and I gotta tell you, bars are louder than you would think they are. Movies lie to us when it comes to bars. But, the experience is pretty good. And we got to talk movies, and we got to talk a bit of politics, and that was fun, and I really feel like it's great to know the people and get opportunities to be able to work on various things. Not that I've done so quite yet, but I think that you build friendships there, and I think it's a really great thing. So I also think that you can really also build memories, because it's not just the Wednesdays. I think it's really that you can sign yourself up for a project, whatever you're comfortable with, whatever they're comfortable with, in terms of if you're good with lighting, or if you want to learn camera stuff, or if you want to learn how it's like on set, if you want to learn how it is to be directed. It's pretty cool stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that sounds really good, and I wish I had a social group like that, because I have literally no social life. But that sounds really good. And is it free?
It is free, but of course, being a bar and going to grilled beforehand, of course you have to spend your own money on food, but that's only natural, I guess. You can't expect the whole group to just pay like $500 for everyone's food,
Yeah, and that sounds really good. I actually know of a NDS provider where you get your meals included and all these different things in the social outing, but all you have to pay is for this fee that goes towards everything. But it's like they've got a special deal going on because they've got connections to the community. But your thing sounds pretty good as well. I know there's lots of social groups out there that are like yours, and I think it's such a good thing.
Yeah, it's not, just to be clear, it's not my I'm not the one who runs the social group. It's not really run as such, as much as it is, there's one person who started it, and it's more like, well, we get to just talk at tables, and it's pretty cool, and actually a pretty funny experience. It is okay if I just briefly go on a tangent for a bit of a funny experience?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So basically, I was thinking that the bars, as I said before, are loud. And so, I thought someone said, I'm ordering lemon, lime, and bitters for the table. And so it comes along, of course, and they get the lemon, lime, bitters. Great drink if you hadn't have it. But anyway, I pick it up, I pour some, and I should have got my first clue when the guy was like, yeah, I think I should pour this. And then it started foaming at the top, and I'm like, this looks an awful lot like beer, right? And so I'm thinking, nah, this has got to be lemon, lime, and bitters, right? And I take a sip, oh shit, it is beer. And I don't like the taste of alcohol, so
Oh, did they send the wrong drink?
no, 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 no. I misunderstood. I should have clarified. I misunderstood lemon lime bitters because he actually said beer. I, I
Oh,
saw it in the model. It was like lemon lime bitters, but it was beer.
oh, okay.
But like, yeah, I've learned from that mistake, and I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
hmm And like, do any of your peers that go to your group, are any of them going to the same like university as you?
Not that I know of. I had to say because I know some are going to other universities, and I do know that's like I personally go to a different university than the other people I've seen there. And it's not always the same people. It's like some of the same people, but then some of them come along to one and maybe decide it's not for them. And then some come along and they're like, oh, hell yeah, let's do this thing, you know?
hmm hmm Yeah, and that sounds like really good. And I was wondering, are any of those people in your group, are they openly neurodivergent, or do you think they are? And if so, do you think a group like your social group is good for those kind of people?
I think it's pretty good. I mean, one person I believe is on the autism spectrum who I met last week, and that was really cool because I felt like, hey, I'm not the only one. Of course,
hmm
as you know, we all have different sensitivities to noise, and especially noise in bars and stuff. And I think the
hmm
first time I was fine with the noise in the bar, even though it was quite loud. And then the second time I was like, well, I better wear the sound blocking headphones. Not completely sound blocking, but like the Bluetooth stuff from Sony that's like, well, you can make the sound a lot quieter. And in some ways, having that on actually sometimes allows me, or often allows me, to hear the person better in a loud situation. It just really depends, but maybe it's only me it works for.
Yeah, actually, I don't have those ones, but I do have these kind of invisible earbuds, and they're by a company called Loop, and they actually work really well. I think they make noise 25 or 30% less noisy.
Uh huh.
hmm
It's also worth noting that I think they're very helpful in cinemas because cinemas can often be too loud.
Yes, I don't know if I've used them in cinemas, but I did use them once for a ballet, and it got really loud, and I used that, and I could hear really, really well still because I was right at the front as well. But like, um, when people say like the earbuds and those kind of like devices work, they really do. Like if you get like the good ones.
Yeah, exactly.
hmm
In my case, it was a present, and it really was not a cheap pair of headphones. Like it's been so worth it. I love it, and it's yeah, you can press a button on the side too, just so you know if it's going to run out. Like battery,
Oh,
50%, battery about 60%, etc. But then you can't use them while you're charging them. When you're
oh,
charging them, there'll be a red light, and you got to be really careful because as soon as you see the red light go off, then you got to unplug it. You don't want to overcharge it.
oh, I see.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, my earbuds are not chargeable. They're basically like you put them in your ear, and like you put them in, and then you kind of twist them so they fit properly, and then they don't come with any chargeable, battery system, but like they work like somehow. I don't know how. There's like science behind it, and they work to minimize the noise around you, but they actually help you focus better with the noises that are closer to you.
Hmm.
Yeah, and like thing is, I put in these little like uh, I don't know what they're called. I for now I just call them rubber pastes. Where you put extra kind of protection on the inside, so it kind of gives you extra decimal protection. So like you get even more of the noise minimized without you actually not hearing anything at all. Like it minimizes the noise, but it still lets you hear really well.
Right.
Yeah, and I like them as well. They weren't as expensive as yours. Mine were like $65, but I did actually claim it through NDIS, and I said I needed it for reasons, and that was really good. But like I know that like earbuds and all those devices can be like super expensive.
Yeah. But it's definitely a
Mhm.
worthy investment for sure. Like I think several investments can be expensive, but they can be worth it. Like one as listeners probably know by now, because I probably mentioned it a few times in the podcast. But the region-free Blu-ray player that I have allows me to get Blu-rays from anywhere in the world and DVDs from anywhere in the world and just play them. And I'm just no longer restricted. I can just, if there's a movie that's not really available in Australia or it's not, and say it's available in America, there we go. I got it. That's been a very worthy
Mm-hmm.
investment. But I feel like, it's sometimes it can be hard to tell whether something's going to be a really worthy investment because when I was a
Mm-hmm.
teenager, I got a floating Death Star speaker that wouldn't float for some reason. I've got two cats on my bed. Sorry, Ella. Sorry, you might want to cut this part
Oh,
out. Ella, get away from him.
that's okay. I like cats. I like animals. I got animal slippers today.
Yeah, she's sorry. She's trying to kind of bite him a bit.
Oh, oh, but are they babies? I couldn't quite remember.
They're all adult cats.
Oh,
Sorry for that interruption. Again,
no,
it's
that's
probably
okay.
better for the pacing if you cut that out.
Oh, I might keep it in because I kind of like spontaneous moments. If that's okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want to scare anyone with headphones if I suddenly were like yelled a bit.
Oh, that's okay. I'll put a little like a disclaimer into the like episode.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'm just wondering.
Generally, as long as they're quiet.
Oh, yeah, I just wanted to say this is the thing I was going to say. We have 5 minutes left to talk because our podcast today is going to be 15 minutes because we're doing shorter ones just so I can put in like the outro, intro, disclaimer, and so like it's going to be like 20 minutes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so that's how I'm going to do them because because of uni, I don't have the time to do longer podcasts over an hour or 30 minutes. So I'm going to make them like 15 minutes and add in all the like extras over the top. So it's going to be 20 minutes and then it's going to be on a fortnightly basis because before it was on a weekly basis and I feel like fortnightly works better.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. And like today was kind of good to do at this time, like around 5, because I came back from campus because I do like a bridging course. I don't know how to explain it. I'll explain another time in more detail, but like because of that, I had to kind of not exactly rush home, but come home at a good time and then prepare to do the episode. So it was sort of good to do it like today at this time and like to do it like within 15 minutes.
Yeah, and considering it's more bite-sized, it's kind of easy to listen to in a way for I guess a wider audience. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the long form stuff. That's great and all, and I really like that. But then sometimes just in the mood for something that's a bit of a bite that you can just digest easily, I guess.
I really agree. And also, it's kind of easy in a way recording because I don't have to talk for half an hour. I can record 10 or 15 minutes, put my other stuff in it, and then it would be like a reasonable, like timed podcast.
Exactly, like a Cartoon Network show with ads.
Mm-hmm. Except ours won't have any ads today. I'm gonna yeah, I don't want to bug you about like putting ads in, but I will put in like the little musical outros and intros, like the interludes into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and although I think they're free because they all sound kind of similar.
Yeah, no, I just, I admittedly can't come up with that many. I just kind of improvised one day, and I was like, let's just go with it.
Yeah, and that's okay as well. And I'm just wondering, George, I know sometimes I call you George or Spike, 'cause sometimes I kind of
Eh,
interchange. But
either
I think
one, either one.
yeah, cool, because I don't want to like confuse my audience. But like they know by now you're either George or Spike, because I do put both of those names in. Like I try to. I'm just wondering, do you have anything else you want to say? Like it could be about socialization, could be about hobbies, could be about like what you talked about. Just before we wrap up.
I think it was good to share the experience. And it's good to know that it's given me a way to go out places. I have plenty of friends in Sydney, including yourself, of course. But
Mm-hmm.
then in Melbourne, I've previously had trouble, not being able to seemingly make in-person friends. Like, I have some in-person friends, but only really a few at the moment. And I feel like I really want to make it like Sydney, where I'm just friends with a bunch of people, and that's great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally get that. I don't have many friends. I had to co some this year, and like I do know how it feels to be lonely, but I am like you trying to socialize more, and you've kind of like inspired me to kind of do a maybe a social group or something outdoorsy, or like outside besides being in my house. Although I don't mind being in my house, but like yeah, it's good how like you're also getting outside of your comfort zone as well.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, it's the way they go from the shopping centre to the bar is easily 10-15 minutes of walking. So that's
Mm-hmm.
slightly outside my comfort zone at the moment. Usually it's like, oh, it's a short walk, that's fine. But I'm not quite used to the 10-15 yet, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. Mm-hmm.
But it's exercise and it's good.
Yeah, of course. And it's also like really good to kind of like I suppose try new food as well. Sorry, I can't really think right now. I've got a bit sensory over there, but like yeah, I thought like the food would be a good like way to like a reason to do it.
Yeah. I mean, it's always, even if you don't get my standard order of fish and chips, then it's like, you still, some tables, when I've been there, the tables often have either there are these chips that are like, I don't know what they call them, but they're not Smiths, but they're not potato either, but they're kind of crunchy and they're kind of, I don't know if they
Ooh.
call them like, I don't know what it is, but they
Mm.
have a certain flavor to them and they're not the crunchiest thing and they're kind of pinkish and they're kind of, I don't know what they're
Ooh.
called.
You got me intrigued.
I think what was it, like duck chips? Like
Oh,
I don't think they were made of duck or anything, but like I'm just trying to guess the name because I no idea.
that's okay. Maybe
Bro,
we
I
can
was
do it
probably
after
completely
this.
wrong.
Sorry, that's okay. Oh yeah, we have to wrap up soon. Because it's already 15 minutes. But I just want to say, maybe our next episode could be all about chips because I have been eating a lot of McDonald's chips and I got a lot to say.
They've been having the ads here in Melbourne lately for the surprise fries and all that.
I actually won a $10 retail voucher the other day.
Oh, one thing I can close on then, speaking of
Yeah,
that,
sure.
is there's a McDonald's in Victoria which is in a brick building. It looks like no other McDonald's. It's in a brick building that used to be a hotel, and I've always wanted to go
Oh,
there.
I'm intrigued. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, thank you so much for closing on that, and we'll see everybody next time, including me, maybe.
Yep. Okay.
Okay,
Have a good day.
bye. You too. Thank you for listening to another episode of Always Angelic Aspie.
We hope you enjoyed it and learned something new.
Goodbye for now.
Remember, you're different, not less.